And here is part 2.
Bad times, I don't wanna have bad.
I'm constantly working on my shit, whether it's my business or my marriage or myself, my personal growth, my physical. I'm constantly now. I'm in a lifestyle of like working on myself and my shit, and I think it's given me a really like healthy view of the reality of this. Right? I believe that we all have dirty laundry.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that we all have closets and we stuff shit in them.
Mm-hmm.
Some might be worse than others.
Mm-hmm.
Some people's shit in their closet might be terrible.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. But I believe we all have it. And so can I get to a place in my life where anyone can walk in my house and look in my fucking closet and look in my fucking laundry? To me, that's the goal. The goal is to live a life where you could take my computer, you can look through all my emails and my text messages and read everything I write, and I can live with it. I can live with you knowing my worst moment or my best moment.
Right.
That's, to me, that's like clarity. That's like peace. That's like something like...
And that's not easy to do.
No.
But I think it's something to strive for.
It's something that I strive for because I believe that we live in a world now where people sell. And they sell this idea that they're right, that they're perfect, that they're this, that they're that.
And their life is better than yours, especially
and
social media.
They're better than you. And I'm like,
no,
no, reality is we're all human beings walking around like fucking, like we think we're conscious. We're such animals in our instinctive kind of the way we move through the world. And we all have something embarrassing. I don't know. We all have, and we don't look at each other like that. Like as a society, as a group, we like celebrate people's downfall or their embarrassing moments or their, and I kind of like move away. I'm like allergic to it. I move away because I really believe that like, if you can't hand over your phone and let everybody read your fucking text messages or you're this, you shouldn't be going after them because that in my mind, the reality of being a human is we all fucking have done some dumb shit or said some shit or I don't know. And I think that the goal is to live a true life in front of everyone. It's like, I'm not saying that people shouldn't strive to change the world and affect large groups of people and organize. That's fine. I'm saying that they should be mindful of the power dynamic and how they present themselves as perfect or something. I don't know, because I'm very careful about that.
It changes you. There's no way that it can't.
Yeah.
If you go from your platform being 5 people, be it a band, a preacher, or some person on Instagram, from playing for 5 people to playing for 5,000 people, 5,000 followers, 500,000 followers, selling millions of records, whatever it is, it's going to change you. It changes your brain. You cannot control that. That's something we don't understand. And then it's how do you combat that? And I think there's no way to really truly do good with it unless you're really working on yourself or you're in a really good spot. And most of us weren't in a good spot when those shifts happen, be it your little Instagram following that you're telling what they should eat or what they shouldn't eat, down to a band preaching from stage or a pastor or whatever it may be. I think that shift, no one's prepared for that.
And I'm glad that our music, I'm sure you feel the same way, can be a positive source of motivation or comfort or anything that people find in our music as something in their life, right? That's helping them on their path to personal success.
Totally.
Personal growth and good health. I do believe that like, if it wasn't my band, they would find another source.
Totally.
Because they're looking for it.
Yep.
And I'm glad they found me, but I believe they'd find something if they're looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
So my encouragement to people is don't follow me. Don't think you're going to follow me. If I'm a source of positive, great. Keep looking for the positive and on the road to good health and good well-being and personal success and growth. Or the other road is downward spiral towards death.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
Longevity isn't just our health. It's our mind. It's our self. It's our self. It's our whole self. So anything that helps you in your path to personal success, and that's all the things, your health, your relationships, your happiness, all of it.
You have to water the plant.
Yeah. And so that's my thing is like, there's a lot of positive sources out there for you to use on your journey. My message is always for people to find it, to look for it, and to find their, look, the transcendent side of life, spirituality, faith, is really good on the path to being well. You're going to find I think you're going to need to find your version of that. Because it is a real aspect of us, like our spirit is a real aspect of us. But I just don't think there's just one way to be happy, healthy, whole.
I don't think so either.
It's different for everyone.
It is, and that's okay. And that's also confusing, which is why I think people are constantly in turmoil growing up, because there is no answer. You know, like, isn't that what we're getting at? Is that like there is no, if there was a way to raise a child right, it's 2025. There would be a book already that's like,
the manual
this is what
would
you
exist.
do. Here's the manual. This is what you do. This is how you have a child that's not going to have problems. You're going to grow up healthy and happy. Dude, we still don't know.
Yeah.
And I think this whole thing that's what this is about, is like trying to figure out what works for you, because it's different for fucking everyone. And that's so confusing. And when you're a child, you're not equipped to even understand that. Like, why is it different for me and my best friend John over here? Shouldn't we just do the same thing?
Yeah, nah.
Because it works for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't. And I think that's hard, is realizing that you are, in certain aspects of this life, you are on this journey alone. It is
you are.
your life.
Mm-hmm.
You are in control of it, and you have to find what works for you.
Yep.
Yes, you're not alone in the fact that you have family, friends, loved ones, relationships that you have.
You're alone at the end of the day, though, falling asleep.
Yeah, in your thoughts and in your
mind.
brain.
Yeah.
And like, what is good for you? And that's I think that's scary. I think that's like, I think what it boils down to is, as a child into your teenage years, and then you're looking at moving out of your parents' house, it's scary. Whether you're excited about it or not, to the thought of like, but it is just you. What works for you? No one can tell you that.
Yeah.
You have to find it within you.
And that's the journey you've been on.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think you've been on that life journey. And it gets kind of wrapped up in music, because the music and the band becomes all encompassing of our life.
At one point, it was my
everything.
entire identity.
Me too.
And boy, did that, when Underoath broke up for a couple of years.
When did you guys break up?
The top of 2013. We broke up in 2012, and I think we did our farewell shows bled into the very beginning of 13.
Then when did you get back together?
16.
Okay.
So
Little
about 4
hiatus
years.
was
It
good
like
for you.
4 years.
Yeah.
And boy, when your whole identity is, you know, when you don't love who you are when you start out and you're a little kid and you don't really have an identity, you're not sure who you are, you're not really a man, you're just a child that's not, you know, it's easy to fit in with a group of like, oh, now we're 6 guys, 5 guys, whatever. We're this.
Yeah.
I don't have to be just me. We are this.
Yeah.
And then your whole identity, especially mine, like being the singer, and like everything was Underoath for me. I am the guy from Underoath. Oh, that's who I am. And my life consisted of all this busy schedule and just filling in the gaps in between Underoath events.
Yeah.
How am I going to kill the time?
Yeah.
There's a lot of partying and going out and, you know, wasting time. And then new Underoath event, you know. And then when that comes all crumbling down.
Yeah. What were those years like? Those years between breaking up and then deciding to get back together?
Rock bottom.
Oh, wow.
Like it got darker, but I started.
Where did you live?
I was living in St. Pete, where the band was based out of Tampa, St. Pete.
Okay. You can find some trouble down there.
Oh yeah, it was bad. It was, the spiral had gone to the bottom. I actually moved to New York. I moved to Brooklyn in 2014, and that was the start of getting better, which sounds crazy. You moved to New York, and New York's crazy, but for me, it was, I had to get away from where I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to die here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a slippery slope. I knew everyone everywhere. I mean, I walked into a place, they knew my order, or they knew my drink, or whatever. Like, I could get away with whatever I wanted. I knew everyone.
Mm.
Any band that came in town, they knew to hit me up. You know, like, I was always the guy.
Yeah.
I was the guy, you know. So I needed to delete most of my phone and start over somewhere.
Yeah.
And it was
Fresh
just
start.
And being in New York, walking around by yourself, and you know, I also fell in love with music again there, because you're always listening to the music when you're walking around. You know, you don't have a car, and you're in your headphones.
Also,
and,
no one in New York fucking cares.
and you're and it's great. I learned how to go out to dinner by myself. That sounds so small, but I hadn't, you're in a band, like, dude, I have never done that. Growing up, it was like always needed somebody with me. Always.
No dinners alone.
And I learned how to be completely alone.
Yeah, be alone.
And then that was the start of like.
And then you have to think about yourself. You're alone and you're like.
Do I like where I'm at?
Yeah.
Do I want to keep doing this? And I was still making music. I made a solo record, a duo. Like me and my friend made a record and hired a band, toured the world with that, played Wembley, did Australia, Europe, all multiple US tours, crashed and burned, drugs and alcohol, burnt the whole thing down on the ground as Underoath started to talking again. And I was actually on a different journey of, I realized being the crazy guy in my band, then I was doing this project called Sleepwave and I hired a bunch of dudes that were wilder than me.
Right.
All of a sudden I'm the parent and I'm the responsible one. I was like, this fucking sucks. I was like, if this is what I've been putting Underoath through, I got a fucking little wake up call. And then, so that's spiraling out of control, but a lot of good, like the band did a lot for such a short time. And Underoath starts talking again about maybe doing a 10-year tour or something, like celebrate, like we did a lot, like blah, 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 blah. As I'm living in New York slowly, like the drug use had really slowed down. I had changed the way I was eating. I started to exercise, and exercise really led me to completely get off drugs, which was
awesome. Because
if I was like, I really like going to the gym and feeling better about myself and working on myself. If I get high tonight and drink too much and stay up till 4, 5, 6 in the morning, I'm gonna be too hungover to go tomorrow. And then there was like the double guilt. Like I shouldn't have done that. And then I wake up, I'm like, fuck, I missed the gym. Fuck, I'm not doing anything good for myself.
How often were you like having like episodes with like a shame spiral?
Oh, daily.
Daily?
Yeah, when I was still
when you were out there,
yeah, but like
that's a real thing, man. You go, I'm doing so good, and then you spiral. Then you go out one night and you like wake up and you're in like a shame spiral for a week.
Oh yeah, you beat yourself up.
Yeah,
I'm really good at that.
Yeah,
the overthinking brain and the like.
Oh, it's terrible.
Which I've
because you're creative.
Yeah.
So your imagination is a lot more powerful than just the average non.
And
artist.
there's ways you can work on the overthinking brain. It's just constant. It's a constant work. You're constantly working on yourself. But it all started with that, like really moving to New York, Underoath breaking up, really reflecting on the fact that that's not my identity. And I've found now like Underoath is a part of my life, but it's not my whole life. Like I'm a happy dude. Like I've got a lot going on in my life that I'm really happy about, and I'm really healthy, and I have stuff in my life that is more important than Underoath is.
Right.
And I don't need to show up for the dude party. I don't need to show up and be like a bro. It's not a fraternity. If some people in my band still feel that way that it is, that's fine. That's for them to figure out. But like, I'm like, I do what I need to do. I make sure my relationships with my friends are intact in the band. And I'm like, but I'm also still going to take care of myself. And a lot of times nowadays, it's like getting shit when you come back to the bus after a day off because you weren't around to go out to dinner with everyone and go to the movie or whatever. It's like, sometimes I've learned how to take that day where I'm like, I'm going to just be me today.
Yeah,
maybe
it sounds
I need to like sit in my hotel room and maybe just relax and watch some TV. Like I'm exhausted. I'm like, I don't need to be around everyone all the time. I can take my time and work on me. And sometimes that's like checking in at home, FaceTiming my daughter, calling my fiance, talking to my dad, maybe go to the gym and then eat lunch by myself.
Yeah.
And just chill, and maybe like go walk around. And I don't need to be with someone in my band or crew all the time like I used to. And it's like, it's been super healthy for me. And that all started with Silly Enough, New York, Brooklyn.
That actually makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a healthy thing about living in a big city where there's so much more going on and you can find inspiration there, but you can also kind of disappear there.
Yeah, it was great. I was there for a handful of years, like almost 5 years, and it was awesome.
Yeah. And it sounds like you guys really like got. How did how did you come back together and like establish that? Like, it sounds like you guys respect each other. It just sounds like grown men. You grew up. It's the same as our band, but we had some of the same key issues. Like, but then we
worked through it.
We worked through it, and then we respect each other.
I was talking to Jason from the Fever and Let Live.
Yeah.
As he's getting back together with Let Live, and we were just kind of chatting. He's a good buddy of mine, and he's
a nice guy.
He's a sweetheart. I love that
Yeah, I
dude.
like
and
him.
I love the Fever guys. I love the Let Live, like all that, you know,
I like all of them.
all of them, everyone, you know.
The
Steven,
three
Eric,
of them are a force.
Steven, Eric,
They're,
Jason.
they're all
those
forces.
I loved all those human beings with all my heart. But it was funny because, you know, Jason was posting about going into the first Let Live practice. And Let Live was on a tour with Underoath early on, and then they were on our farewell tour.
Right.
And then we've done stuff with the Fever after getting back together, because the Fever came about around the time I think Underoath was getting back together.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of history with all of those dudes. And I was just speaking to him about that, of like, he was posting about like, I'm going into this new, you know, this new old territory, like about to uncover some wounds, or I don't know what this is going to be like. And we just started chatting, and I was just like, from my experience, because I did it, whatever the outcome is, doesn't matter. Just being able to even mend the friendships at all. If you guys play one show and dissolve, or you go to be the biggest band in the world, it doesn't matter. The coolest thing is y'all getting back in that room. It is a special time to, like, because y'all did a lot and you traveled the world and you made some important music that helped a lot of people. Whatever happened. I don't know. I don't need the story. But the fact that you get to get back in a room, you're going to feel all sorts of shit. You're going to feel weird. You're going to feel great. You're going to feel maybe like, oh, I still have a distaste for this guy.
Yeah.
But you start to kind of work it out as men, and it's a beautiful, and that's the most important thing, is mending that friendship there.
Yeah.
It's like, that
There's
was
no
really,
rules either.
that was really what it was with Underoath, was I think we spent like 4 years not talking at all.
Mm.
And it started
Probably
like,
good though.
yeah. And then like when the group chat started to kind of light back up again, and it was just kind of like, yeah, this is such a huge part of my life. Like I miss these, it's like family, you know, like, so it's like, you've got brothers and sisters or siblings or whatever. It's like, you're not always going to be perfect with your brother. Like, you guys get in fights. It happens. There's times where you like, maybe you don't talk to your dad or your mom for a week because they pissed you off, or you pissed them off, or you're sitting with your brother or your sister, whoever. You know, like, family is tough sometimes. And that's what a band is. And I think being able to walk away from it and come back and be like, we're in different spaces now. Everyone's grown. Like, let's see if we can figure this out. And there's stuff that we still need to talk about. We can talk about it.
I've learned the most powerful thing we learned how to do was communicate.
Mm.
And that we framed it like, okay, we're all at the table. Everyone's perspective is real. It's valid. It's like, you really have that perspective.
Yeah.
Like, your perspective, even if I don't understand it or think it's fair or think it's right, it is actually how you feel. So if none of us are wrong for how we feel,
As you shouldn't be.
we can actually start talking about understanding each other. And then in the middle is where it all lives. In the middle is where we all can actually work together, because everyone's a little right and a little wrong.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Getting a bunch of dudes together to be like,
That's how I feel.
you're not wrong for how you feel, or to be able to, can everyone actually do that? That's a question I'm going to have to talk to Underoath about.
Can everybody?
Can we
okay,
actually all sit around and go, you're not wrong for how you feel?
You're not wrong.
But
you're
because
not.
that's how you feel. But I don't know if we can all do that.
But
still
you're
yet.
not wrong.
We've been working on that.
Okay, so that would be the challenge, I would say, is see if you can sit at a table and say, everyone at this table has a perspective. Your experience and your perspective is yours.
Yeah, you're not wrong for how you
And
feel.
you're not wrong.
It's so simple, but the fact that
The truth lives here in the middle of the
Yeah.
table where we're all looking. And somewhere in the middle, you're a little right and you might be a little wrong, and I might be a little right and I might be a little wrong. But the truth of the matter is how we feel.
right or wrong doesn't change how you feel.
How we feel actually, if we don't stop and say, oh, this is a feeling I have, it's not the truth. It's a feeling I have.
Mm,
And we got to separate reality from feeling.
yeah.
My reality is dictated by how I feel. If I think it's a bad day, if I feel like this is a bad day, you come in and go, what a fucking great day. And I'm like, what? It's
Yeah.
a terrible day. Well, why is it a terrible day? Well, because this. And you're like, what? I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah.
Because how we feel is how we see the world, how we live. That's our life, how we feel every day. That's why my kind of practice is every day is to establish how I feel right when I wake up.
Mm,
Oh, I'm feeling a little anxious. I woke up anxious. Why am I anxious? Okay, that's not real. Okay, that's not real. Okay, that's not real. And then I get back to the middle where I'm like, oh, you know what? Today's a great day. Sun's shining. Everyone's healthy. Okay, let's go. And then I have a great day every day.
mm.
But I have to decide it every day because I grew up
You make that decision.
in trauma.
Yeah.
So mornings are very hard for me. So I started through work learning when my trouble spots are. I find I wake up this way. I find I go to sleep this way. Okay, I need to, over time, try to improve those. Because if we can master our thoughts, we can master our life.
It's like that thing they tell you, like, in your relationship, you don't go to bed angry.
Yeah.
It's a simple thing. You've seen that all over, right?
Sure.
You either come to some sort of agree to disagree, you kiss your wife or your husband or whoever, your partner, and you don't go to bed angry. That's a huge thing.
And so there are tools, right, for that. If we can't agree on something, we table it. And we actually try to identify a time. So can we table that till next week? Well, when next week? Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday of next week. Right? I know it sounds silly, but it gives us relief when we can't agree. And then I'll make a little joke and she'll laugh, or she'll make a little joke and I'll laugh. And then we try to get back on track with the joy part.
Because that one moment doesn't identify your whole relationship.
No,
that's just a feeling in the moment.
That you nailed it. We cannot define something as a whole by a singular event, a singular day, a singular person, a singular.
Feeling.
So we have to also, as a band, say this album or this month or this day or this tour or this show, however big or small you want to go with it, does not define us. And everyone at the table, your feeling is your feeling. I can't change how you feel. I can only try to understand how it feels to be you from your perspective. So if I can do that, even if I want them to feel how I feel, I want them to agree with me, I'm not going to get anywhere if I don't know how they feel. And so if I learn how to listen and hear and feel, and then say, okay, I understand how you could feel that way. I might go, give me a minute. I need to think about it. I want to respect how you feel, but I also want you to understand how I feel. And I think we need to meet in the middle. And then we need to figure out what we're trying to accomplish and how our feelings factor in and how they don't. Right. So some of our feelings might not factor into anything we're doing. It's just how we feel. And so we have to slow things down and try to compartmentalize things so that we can work together on the pressing matters. Like, we got this show we got to play tonight and you're mad at me. And what I like to do is go out there and both of us enjoy ourselves. So I want to understand how you feel. We got 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And so what I'm asking for is, if you can try and tell me how you feel, I'll hear you. And then maybe we can put it on the shelf and maybe we can talk about it after the show.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow.
How do you get on that stage though? Like, the guy that's angry, can you get on that stage and not have the anger?
Well, you both have to participate. Some people are they have to develop. Emotional intelligence, I think, is the most important thing we can gain, is to learn how to understand and process how we feel in real time, right? And we can start to track and see how other people are feeling, whether they tell us or not. I can tell when someone's anxious because I've worked on it so much for myself. So then I can identify that anxiety is causing them to say things, do things, and they're not aware of it.
I can sense when the people I'm close to, I can sense when something is off. I can sense if you're upset or you're angry or you're sad or you're anxious without them saying anything. There's a handful of people in my life I can do that with.
And when someone's focused on, when they're anxious, they're focused usually on a source of what's causing them to be disturbed or upset or afraid. And so they'll hyper focus on something that actually probably doesn't make sense and it probably doesn't matter. It's like someone who thinks they're dying, they're having a panic attack. They're not dying.
No.
And so they're saying, my throat. And you're like, your throat's fine. You could tell them anything. They're not going to hear you. So you can't do that, actually. You actually just have to try to help them through it by what a therapist would do would be like, okay, why don't we try breathing? Why don't you wiggle your toes? Why don't you there's different things for people that are having panic attacks. But all I'm saying is, like, I think it's called emphatic listening. And it's like being able to hear someone and understand how it feels to be them in that moment without pulling your perspective in and trying to get them to see what believe you, right?
Not
to feel how you feel. You're just actually just trying to listen And then by even doing that, it brings it down. And then you have to kind of almost like constitutionally agree with yourself that you're not going to judge their perspective or try and change their perspective. You just want to understand it. And then actually that I find opens up dialogue, even if like let's say before a show, Underoath's about to go on, you have 30 minutes, somebody's mad at someone, and you go, okay, I can tell you're mad at me, or I feel like you are. I know we don't have a lot of time, but maybe you can tell me how you're feeling. And then they're like, well, I feel like you do this. And you're like, instead of defending that and go, no, I don't do that. Because that's what a lot of people do, is they go straight into the accusation of, you always do this, or you're so this, right? That's like a very undeveloped way of saying that you feel like someone isn't appreciating you or someone isn't acknowledging you or whatever. And then instead of going, no, I don't, go, I don't want you to feel that way. I don't actually want you to feel that way. I think that's something we should talk about. I feel like I don't have a good answer for you right now, and we have now 20 minutes to go. So could you accept that I hear you, and like, can we go on stage and do this together? I want to enjoy this with you because I like you. And I feel you. I understand that you're mad at me, and I want us to work on that. Can we do it tomorrow, or can we do it next week, or whatever? Most of the time people will actually get on board and go, actually, yeah, I feel like you're acknowledging that I'm upset, and yeah, let's work on it. And then that starts to like,
that takes a lot of maturity. And I think that like,
it's weird.
No, but I also feel like it's brilliant and simple, but I don't think bands can do that at an early age.
It's hard to learn how to do.
I think that takes
it takes age.
I think Underoath is to the point where we could probably do that.
I think you guys could.
We've been we're way healthier than we've ever been, but we were a very, very unhealthy band, whether we like to admit it or not, from the get-go.
Why do you think that was?
I don't know. I really don't know.
On the outside, I would have never guessed it.
I think everyone just had their own
stuff to work out.
Yeah, and I don't think they were able to do anything we've just spent the last 30 minutes talking about.
Well, we couldn't either until we were like well into our 30s.
I think that your feeling is wrong. It was Underoath for 20 years almost, you know? And I think my feeling is right, and he thinks his feeling is right. He thinks his feeling is right, and everyone else is wrong.
Maybe that made you guys like a fucking great band. Like
it
maybe
probably
the
did.
tension.
There's a lot of tension, but the best thing that I can say now is that we hear each other out way more than we used to. We coexist way more than we used to. We accept each other way more than we used to. And we made a record not in turmoil. And I know everyone says this, but I truly believe I've only felt this way twice in my life. I stand by every record and every song we've ever made, but I've had this feeling twice. It happened when we made Define the Great Line, which is a record that tons of people quote about. That's our pinnacle or whatever. That same feeling when I heard that product back, I have when we made this record.
Yeah.
And I explain it to where I think you always make the best representation of where you are at that time.
Yeah.
Every time you make a record, but sometimes we're not in that we're not in a great place. Sometimes the band's not in a good place. Sometimes us as people aren't in a great, if you look at your life like this, sometimes you might make a record when you're right here. And maybe that record's flooded by all sorts of outside feelings and anger towards each other and distaste to where it kind of makes a mediocre record. But when you're at a really good spot personally and each member's within reason there, and you make a record you're just on fire and things are just fucking happening and it's like, oh my God, we're capturing all this. And then you push play and you're like, fuck, we did that. I felt that way on Define the Great Line. We were in a really good spot making that record.
That's why we're in a band together.
We made that record. We were like really unhappy in certain ways with the way the first record went, Chasing Safety. And we were also on a high from some of the things that we worked so hard to do. We came in the studio with a fucking motive. We wanted to feel how we wanted to feel. Like, that's not who we are. This is who we are. And we pushed play. We were like, fuck, that's it. And our managers and labels were like, why does it sound like that? Why didn't you make this? We were like, trust us. And then, the record changed our lives. I felt that way when we made this record that came out today, actually.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We made something, we were like I said, sometimes we don't always make the record in our best spot.
Yeah.
And right now, Underoath is in a really good spot, and we captured a record to when we push play back. I felt that same, like, you caught lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do, and you can't fake that. You can't force that. You can't be like, hey guys, let's go in the studio and catch lightning in a bottle.
No,
Something special's got to happen.
No, you know.
We were just, it's just a good time, man. We were firing in a really good cylinder. Everyone, not just one guy, not one of us carrying someone else's dead weight. There was none of, it was just came to a head.
Yeah.
And when I heard it back, I was like, that's the goal, right? So I listen to everything, but when it comes to heavy music, what do I want to hear? Because I don't listen to it all the time. I'm around it all the time.
Yeah.
So what is it that I want to hear? Let's make that. Because I don't know what what is it that I'm missing? What do I want? What am I not getting? And then when that started to happen and you push play and looking around, everyone is fucking, dudes are standing on chairs and walking around we made it in like this house, and like dudes are like headbanging, walking around the kitchen. I'm like, we did it.
Yeah.
Because if me and my four friends.
Yeah. If you like it.
That's all that I care about. Like, I don't care what everyone's going to say. They're always going to be mad when you make new songs. People, oh, it's on your old shit. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm so over caring about that. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
And we have the best fans in the world, but no offense, I don't care. What I care about is when I look at Chris, I look at Tim, look at Aaron, look at Grant, and the guy producing, and everyone's like, fuck yeah. And I'm like, okay, that's it.
That's the feeling.
Because all I care about is the guys I made it with. Everyone thinks that that's the shit.
Right.
That song fucking rips. That song can come out.
Yeah.
If we don't feel that way about the next song, let's keep working.
That's the bar.
This time, I feel like, all things considered, all of the shit we've been talking about with our relationships and where we are we quite to where we're talking about accepting everyone's feeling 100% yet? I don't know if we're all the way there yet, but we are in a better spot than we've ever been, even from the get-go of this band, through all the turmoil, through all the ups and downs, through the breakup, even getting back together. We weren't at the spot where we're at now, which I think we're up here. Mm-hmm. And maybe we could still keep going up there.
Yeah.
And the band's growing, the crowds are growing, the shows are better, we're better performers, we're better in the studio, we're better writers, and we're better friends. So I see it going that way. And I hope
feel like it's an era beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said this in the interview the other day, and if you're looking at Underoath as chapters or books, the first book just ended, baby. Like, come on, that 20 years, like closing out that 20th anniversary tour as we were starting to release new music, I was like, this new music is the next book.
Right.
In the trilogy or the whatever, how many books we're ever going to write. It wasn't when we got back together. It was when we broke up, wasn't the end of chapter one, like that. All of that was here.
Season one.
And I think now we're starting season 2, which is starting with this record that came out today, moving forward.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it does. It feels good.
I'm happy for you guys.
Thank you.
I like you guys. It's cool to get like a perspective, like peek into like what was going on with the people.
Yeah.
The band is such an idea. It's such a thing that's not, it's real. Like, together we are this band. We put these records out. Your idea of me is this band. It's not me as a person.
Right.
And then you meet me as a person and you will formulate your opinion of me. And it might actually affect your opinion of my band. It likely will.
Totally.
Right. And I'm okay with that. But me as a person, individually, any given day, any given year, any given era of my life is different. The idea of my band, you might still be back in 2006, right? That's fine with me too.
Right.
But it's why I do this, to get to sit with someone and get a sense of them, and then because I'm in a band, I know what that feels like. Everything you're saying, I have a very visceral feeling of like what those times and those situations feel like. To understand, like, every band is going through something because they're always growing as people, they're always growing as a band, and they're always fighting to make it and fighting to survive and fighting to try and figure out life and all of it while living in this bubble of being in a band, making records, touring, and trying to keep up with the success that you found yourself in, because I never fucking thought I'd have it in the first place, and I don't want to lose it, and I'm terrified of this, and then getting past the idea that like this singularly defines me, and that I am actually a real person that can have lots of different aspects.
And I think about my favorite bands a lot.
Yeah.
Bands that I love, like some of my favorite bands in the world, you know, like the Deftones, for example, or Nine Inch Nails, as far as heavy music goes. And even Radiohead. My first tattoo on my arm is a Radiohead tattoo.
I love Radiohead.
There's Radiohead records that I don't necessarily love, though.
Yeah.
As much as others. Doesn't mean I'm not going to the show. I'm going to start leaving hateful comments on there. You know, and I think about...
Well, they don't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah. But also, like, it's not going to keep me from going to see them. And it's also doesn't mean that I don't think that maybe the next record will be for me. You know, because there's been bands like Nine Inch Nails, for example, that have released a record that I was like, oh, man, that's not what I wanted to hear. But it's not... I'm not Trent Reznor. I'm not Atticus Ross. But then... it didn't change the way I felt about the band and all the music that I loved that they put out. And then a record or two later, boom, my favorite fucking Nine Inch Nails record. Oh my God, this is incredible. You know, so, and I think that that's learning that about my band and our fans and like the way I feel about some of my favorite bands is like, it's a wave, man. Like sometimes you get up and ride it all the way. Sometimes you get up and fall off and sometimes you miss it all. If you can't ride the wave, then like get out of the ocean, you know?
Yeah,
like,
you can like me too and not always like everything I do. You can also like not always agree with everything I say.
It's like a relationship. It's like, I like you, man.
Yeah.
You and I could be friends.
Yeah.
If I lived here, I'd hang out with you.
Yeah.
I'd invite you over to dinner.
Me too.
But there might be things in your life that we don't see
different on, for sure.
different on.
Yeah.
And it's not going to change the fact that I like you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and I think that's how I've started to feel about some of my favorite bands and some of the like, just because they release a song that I don't, maybe isn't my favorite song or isn't better than the one, it's not always leveling up for me. Doesn't mean that I'm like, oh, they're done. I can't listen to them anymore. And I think when you accept that about yourself too, is like, we're going to keep making music and we're going to try things and we're going to swing at when that pitch gets thrown. And sometimes we might connect it and fucking hit a grand slam. And sometimes we might get just to first base or sometimes we might strike out. As long as we don't stop swinging at the fucking ball.
That's right.
We're good, man.
Yeah.
Like just keep going and keep doing you. And as long as you're doing the shit that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, like Underoath, the one thing I can say about our band, as much as I've said some things about us not being healthy or, you know, ups and downs in Underoath, the one thing I can say about Underoath is we've always unforgivingly been ourselves.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening in the scene or in the world or what's popular right now, we've never fucking cared or bent to it. And we've always done what we've wanted to do. And sometimes that connected and sometimes that didn't. As long as we're doing that and we're happy, we'll continue to be successful. Because I feel like if you're being true to yourself, there's an audience for it.
I've always felt that.
And
I know I've always gotten the impression that you guys are serious about what you do, which is a really nice thing to see when someone takes what they're doing seriously versus whatever. You know, like I'm serious about what I do.
Yep.
I don't care what anyone else thinks, but I have to be serious about it because that's my life.
Yeah.
And I think that it's nice to see. I've always felt like you guys were, you know, well organized in what you were doing and serious about it. Whether you feel like you were or you weren't, the impression I got was that I've always taken you guys seriously.
We've always taken the music very seriously.
And I think people take you guys seriously because
you want people to get it.
Yeah. You hope they do.
Like I hope everyone feels the way I feel about this record that we made. But if we don't, okay, we're always going to make more music. And we always have our old music. It's like we're never not going to play all the songs. We've got songs that people love that those aren't going anywhere. But I hope you get what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to piss you off. I'm trying to make sure my band is intact doing what we want to do and it's exciting for us and it's progressive for us. Otherwise, we're not going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because I know how we are because we need to feel like if we were just to make the same music over and over again, we wouldn't be, it's not worth leaving your family if you're not excited. It's
it
not
needs
worth
to
leaving.
Feel alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you guys are on tour with Papa Roach.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's awesome. I love those guys.
The nicest dudes ever.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. I think those dudes are
I bet those shows are great.
They're insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is crazy.
And then what's next after that?
So this is broken up into 2 legs. So this leg's about a month, and then we've got festivals like Sonic Temple, Rockville.
Oh, we're gonna do Rockville.
Cool. And a couple others fly out, and then there's the second leg to Papa Roach.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we're busier. It's crazy. We're busier than we've been in 20 years.
I bet.
It's nonstop, and that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
You guys are OGs.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it that way.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, that's so good.
This is sick.
Yeah.
Let's do this again.
Yeah, we should. Thank you for listening to Artist Friendly. We really appreciate it. If you like the show,
You can also follow us on Spotify. You can follow us on Instagram at artist.friendly. And you can watch us on YouTube and Veeps. Leave comments. I always read them. See you next time.